Migrating Alchemy REST API is a straightforward process that involves several key steps to ensure a smooth transition. To begin, understand what Alchemy REST API is and its purpose in your application. Alchemy REST API is a service that provides access to blockchain data and allows developers to build and interact with blockchain-based applications. The first step in migrating Alchemy REST API is to assess your current API usage and identify the endpoints and features that are critical to your application. This will help you determine which APIs to migrate first and prioritize your efforts. Review the Alchemy API documentation to understand the available endpoints and parameters. Next, choose a migration strategy that works best for your application. There are two common approaches. Incremental migration, where you migrate one endpoint at a time, and wholesale migration, where you migrate all endpoints at once. Consider factors such as downtime, testing, and resource allocation when selecting a migration strategy. Before starting the migration process, set up a new Alchemy project and generate a new API key. This will ensure that you have a separate environment for testing and validation. Use the Alchemy API dashboard to configure your new project and set up webhooks and notifications as needed. Now, start migrating your API endpoints one by one. Begin with the simplest endpoints and work your way up to the more complex ones. Use the Alchemy API documentation and code samples to guide you through the migration process. Update your application code to use the new API endpoints and parameters. It is essential to test and validate each migrated endpoint to ensure that it works as expected. Use tools such as Postman or curl to test API requests and verify responses. Monitor your application logs and analytics to identify any issues or errors that may arise during the migration process. Best practices for migrating Alchemy REST API include using version control to track changes, implementing automated testing and validation, and monitoring application performance and latency. Additionally, consider using a staging environment to test and validate your migrated API endpoints before deploying them to production. In conclusion, migrating Alchemy REST API requires careful planning, execution, and testing. By following these steps and best practices, you can ensure a successful migration and take advantage of the latest features and improvements offered by Alchemy. Remember to prioritize your efforts, test and validate each endpoint, and monitor your application performance to ensure a smooth transition.